All right. Hello. Welcome everyone back for another edition of the Hex Happy Hour Show. Full panel tonight. We have Crypto Vince, Big K, Crypto Heartbeat, aka Matt, who's just been throwing out the content, pretty much multiple videos a day. Motley Investor right down there.
Cheers. And
Randy Hilarski, who also had an interview with TrustSwap CEO Jeff. What's the pronunciation?
Kirdeikis.
I'll leave it to that.
All right.
And Matt did too, and those links are actually in the description. So I think Matt's came out today, and Randy's was yesterday or Wednesday? Was it?
I think it was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So actually, the content in there was pretty different. You touched on different subject matter, and I enjoyed both of them. So definitely, everybody go have a watch. What else did I want to say? Oh, it's a very special day. Not just because we're gonna, kick off with a joke-off surprise, but who out there knew it was National Happy Hour Day?
Yep. Oh wow!
All right, so here we go. Raise them up. Chat.
You could have used that as a trivia question.
Only the true alcoholics did. Cheers.
And chat, put in what you're drinking. And I believe, Matt, where were you? Did you have a glass of whiskey or scotch last night? What was that?
Yeah, that was actually some rye, a matter of fact.
Okay. What's your brand?
Some Willet.
Willet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sounds far too sophisticated for me.
Exactly.
It was a special occasion.
You're just a poor sailor.
I just got Tito's.
I just got Tito's. Is that
yeah.
All right, so we're going to do a little something different because last week, chat, this is your show, like the Discourse Syndicate is also your show, but we also listen. It's been a long time. Vince and I have not done a joke off in a while, so here you go. We have jokes prepared, and I do apologize to Crypto Heartbeat for this being his first exposure to the show because this is
be rough.
normally how we do things. But we like to be, informal, yes, but also informative. This is the informal part. So the rules are everybody else here is a judge, and the rules are simple. Try to make each other laugh, best of 7, and if you determine one or the other had a laugh, then a point goes to the other side. Yes, children, it's been a while. So yeah,
you should tell them about the Vince drinking game before we start.
I will ask if Alchemist Jess is in chat yet, and then we will bring her up to launch the drinking game.
Evidently, I missed out on it, so I need to catch up.
All right, Vince, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Oh, Matt's already left.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Okay. All right. This is for you, chat. Here we go. Coming in hot. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
How much do you weigh after eating Chinese food?
Great one for me.
You already lost with that.
I don't know.
Wonton.
Randy laughs at everything, remember?
I really want Hexo on here one of these times.
Well, that's a good one.
Thank you. Would that count as a laugh or not?
I don't know. He laughed before the delivery of the jokes. So I don't know if he did that.
So fucking stupid.
That's what these are.
And then I almost lost it.
I had to kick off with a good one. I mean, some of these,
Yeah.
are terrible, but that was terrible, depending upon your perspective. And we're back. All right, the joke off is back, everybody. Cheers, and here's to you, Crypto Heartbeat. I don't blame you for leaving. All right.
Yeah, right. He's like, this is a perfect time for me to make a stream.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, all good.
All right.
All good.
No worries, man.
More pain to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Cabana.
Hey, Vince.
What's the main difference between a piano and a fish?
What's the difference between a piano and a fish?
Yes.
I don't know.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
It's good. It'll get me like going again. Whew.
Too sober for this joke off.
Yep.
It's usually at the end.
Usually at the end.
Yeah.
Hey Vince,
Hey, Cabana.
did you hear Papa Boner got a great deal on a wig? Only $1? It was a small price to pay.
I like that you constructed it on your own. So
Thank you.
that's good.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
You get extra credit,
Thank you for involving Hexicans. Just
Maybe a tiebreaker.
bonus
especially,
10th of a point.
especially Boner Boy.
Yeah.
You'll be able to afford a lot of those.
This is
boy.
true.
All right. Hey, Cabana.
Hey Vince,
Why is it a bad idea to iron a 4-leaf clover?
I don't know.
Because you shouldn't press your luck.
It's good. It's good. It's really good.
Thank you.
Hey Vince,
Hey, Cabana.
I've been trying to use the word mucho in front of my Hispanic friends lately. It means a lot to them.
I'm sure it does.
It's, the vocabulary. Randy gets it.
I hope you didn't make that one up.
I'm starting to remember why we don't do these anymore.
Audience asked for it. Okay. Whew.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What happens when you slap Dwayne Johnson in the butt?
You stole my joke. I already know. That was my next joke.
Oh,
Hit him with that.
What a
delivery,
coincidence.
Vince.
What happens, Vince?
you hit rock bottom.
You won the race to that joke. So
I gotta stand up.
It's like you guys have the same Google search or something.
hey Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What did the horse say after it tripped?
I don't know.
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Okay.
Okay.
Trying here, trying. I only brought brought 8, so now I'm down to 7 because Vince stole mine. So yeah,
Wow.
just like my kicker in fantasy football. Anyway,
You got any reserves?
no. Well, that was my reserve. But anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh. All right. Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What did the financially responsible student do to get good grades?
I don't know.
They paid off their principal.
Makes sense.
It's very good.
That does make sense.
Okay. Whew. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why didn't they let the fun guy into the party?
I don't know. Why?
There wasn't much room.
Oh,
I was-
see.
Yeah.
Kids are struggling.
Okay.
Hey, Cabana.
Just real quick, RIP to Wally Source's fantasy team.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, Vince.
What do you call really tall expenses?
I don't know.
Overhead.
Because that can't work. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What do you call a French guy being mauled by a lion?
I have no idea.
Claude.
I get it.
Very big guy.
I'm doing my best over here. I'm hanging in there.
We all are.
Oh, don't you worry, Big K. I still have some math jokes left over from months ago.
Yes.
Agreed.
Thank you, DJ Cryptomatic.
I like mango junkies. This is
I brought too many jokes.
You ready, Vince, or what's going
Choose
on?
wisely. Yeah. What round are we in right now?
Last part
one?
last part of the 6th. We have one more after your joke. Thank goodness.
All
Does
right.
anyone laugh?
Let's see.
Somehow our audience numbers keep climbing. Let's get this done before
They're
we
just
lose
waiting
everyone.
for it to finish.
All right. Well, I'll go with the math one.
Oh boy.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
Why do plants hate math?
I don't know.
Because it gives them square roots.
The math ones are always solid.
See, it's a hard not to laugh when Randy's cracking up and Big K.
I'm simple, man. I'm a simple fuck. I can't help it.
All right, last one. Thank goodness.
All right.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What's brown and rhymes with Snoop Dogg?
I'm just going to say poop dog.
Dr. Dre.
Huh.
I don't
Come
actually
on,
get it.
man. That's like my best one. Chat, get my back.
I don't get it.
Doctor, the skin tone,
I'm sure I probably would
brown,
have laughed if
rhymes,
Oh.
rappers, and they rap together. Man,
Sorry,
okay.
just kind of went over my head.
All right. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, man.
It's always
Or
a bullet-
overhead.
Always a
I want to
bulletproof
reference
strategy when you
form of
don't
joke.
understand the joke.
Yeah, that helps.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Sandy.
man.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you.
Final round.
This is it. Yeah. So yeah, go
All right.
ahead.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
Why do crypto investors prefer Lambos?
Oh man, I don't know why.
Because they know that Ferrari is owned by Fiat.
Hey, that's
That's a
pretty
good one.
Almost.
Solid.
And we will call it a draw.
Yeah.
Now
made
that
it.
we've made it through that. Yes, Ranchy T. Math jokes. There you go, Chad. Are you happy? Everybody that asked for it.
I think
last
I
week.
think actually Children of the Grave was saying that he'll never ask for another one of those again.
Okay.
Let's just say I'm glad there's new streamers like Crypto Heartbeat out there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of made up a relevant one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What is the difference between the God Whale and the God Whale Twitter parody account?
Oh God,
Oh boy.
There's only
No.
one God Whale.
nice.
Only one.
Yeah, it's not the Twitter account.
That's not the God Whale would not be wasting his time on Twitter.
Exactly.
But
No,
anyway.
I think Whales went and traced the name back. It's definitely not the God Whale. So
yeah, some other.
Yes.
so don't follow it, guys.
But I know
Well, I mean, you
something-
can
but
follow
I-
if you want for laughs, but whatever.
But I know something cool the God Whale Woods waste his money on.
The documentary.
I wouldn't call that a waste.
Oh yeah.
No,
mean,
I know. I was just that's
Yeah,
it's
but-
figure of
Yeah.
speech there.
How,
That was
how
a-
awesome is that? $500
It's
million
a very
donation.
relevant,
Further
fantastic,
investment.
amazing investment. Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you again, God Whale, whoever you are, wherever you're doing your thing.
You're a G.
Appreciate you. You're a super G. I mean, it's incredible. I'm really like that. It's awesome. I mean, it's cool to see him work on when you're looking at him on the blockchain. It's cool to see him doing good things for stuff outside of it. It's great. All
Hello,
about it.
Morgan Freeman.
Hey, Big K,
I
did
don't
you
know,
just out
Morgan.
yourself?
Oh yeah, that's.
All right.
If I was the God Whale, I'd have a bigger jet, y'all. So no, that's not me.
Bigger jet, guys. Bigger.
Bigger jet.
Well, being National Happy Hour Day, and pretty much we have 5, regulars. I would consider Randy a regular here by now as a guest. Just wanted to welcome officially Matt, Crypto Heartbeat.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. And just wanted to ask you, for those who may not have been to your channel yet or anything, could you just give us a background on kind of maybe how you got into Hex and just, nothing too biographical or autobiographical, but,
Sure.
give us a little lowdown on yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. it's an honor. I came into well, I was up one night, middle of the night, around 2 a.m. Couldn't sleep, and I flipped on cable TV, and there was this ad. It was a web ad that somebody bought in cheap airtime on the middle of the night, and it was would you like to be a billionaire? And it was, and I thought, well, yeah, that sounds good.
Who wouldn't?
And so I looked at it. I thought it was a multi-level marketing thing, and I searched it on my phone and found it. And I thought, oh, this is interesting, because it was not what I expected. And so, crypto, and I'd been, my brothers have been really into technology, and, it's all, we grew up, building our own computers, and it was back in billboard days. And I started a company in internet fundraising for nonprofits, and so I was just really curious about what was going on, and I just dove into it. And I thought, you know what, so this was about 10 days before big payday, and so I just dove in, and of course Hexologist was on, and so I just started watching. And so I got in before big payday, and the rest I just kind of watched things. And of course, sitting at dinner with my wife every day, and she's like, I would tell her where, Hex was, and she's like, this isn't real. There's no way that can be real. And of course, when the stake ended and my daughter turned 16, she got a new car. And so it became real to her at that point. But when Richard started talking about, talking about PulseChain, I just got, so excited about that. And, I thought, there needs to be some folks that are focused on the PulseChain. And I didn't see a lot of, I'll be honest with you, the content for me and kind of the circles that I run into, there wasn't a lot of content that was real clean for some of the people that I wanted to onboard. And I thought, you know what, I'll bring a little bit of family friendly to the table.
Class.
So that's kind of been my approach. And of course, there have been some, I can't tell you how many guys over 65, 70 years old I've sat down at lunch with and talked about Hex and PulseChain with. So, it's a demographic and an audience, and it's gone really well. 42 days, 5,000 subs, which is
congrats on the 5K subs.
I mean, I just can't believe
awesome.
it. Cannot believe it.
And that's kind of like, I guess, a product of being almost like one of the first to market for PulseChain, because like you said, there wasn't much content out there, and what you do put out, I mean, the sound quality is great. I love, just it's clean. It's you're very well spoken. I think people kind of, you have a personality that people can gravitate to, and I love it. You're easy to listen to. No homo here.
Yeah.
But it's great, and the interviews and your guests are engaging. So it's the first, I think one of the first, and probably hopefully best. I hope you're going to stick around for a while.
Oh yeah.
And make a lot of content here, because I'm loving it so far, and I think I speak on behalf of many Hexicans and those who have sacrificed already for Pulse, and those who are trying to learn more, especially as we possibly near launch, but we can get into that speculation in a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of I'm just not a technical guy, and of course I've spent the last 20 years in the fundraising world for nonprofits, and this to me, this shift in the financial world is it could potentially have such an impact in the not-for-profit space and NGOs and those type of things. And so that's what I focus on. And they're just that market's generally about 15 years behind. And so I make it a point to kind of know what's going on and try to help folks understand that there's a lot of people out there that are going to do a lot of good with a lot of abundant wealth that haven't really been on your radar before. And this is it's an amazing time to be alive.
Yep, there's absolutely. I mean, and plus you have multiple projects here that could actually produce, some of this life-changing wealth for some people, depending upon when they get in. And Pulse, some people you could view it as almost a second chance, really. Yep. And your copy of Hex, so we're still in this phase of, most of this panel here I know has bought Hex, even though they've been in, way back since the beginning. They're still in accumulation mode, and I'm almost 100% confident. I will say 100% confident. Pretty much everybody here, because I know I talk to them every week, and Yeah. So, but it's that thing where it's not too late either, and we hear a lot of that, especially after Hex has gone from 0 to 2 quarters, basically, and then now it's back down, and people are like, oh well, now it's dipping, and it's like funny how psychology works, because if it's back up at $1, I guarantee you a lot of people are going to want to get back in and get the new hot shiny thing. So. Vince, what say you? I'm trying to lure out Alchemist Jess in chat.
Sorry, I was paying a little too much attention to the chat just now.
Oh, okay. But anyway, Randy, over to you, my friend. Just wanted to check in with you. I had a note on here. Any other fallout, blowback from the former employer that you were able to leave because your gains and the thing that you were, I don't want to say banished, but you left for, totally proved them wrong. And
they ghosted me everywhere,
ghosted you,
man. They banned, they blocked me. I still have control of a couple of the channels. But I don't, we don't use that. We never use anything nefariously, right? But they're supposed to reach out to me so I could hand them over, but not that happened, and it's really weird. The one that was weird to happen this week was Epic Cash. I don't know if you guys know what Epic Cash is. Mimblewimble privacy coin that I launched September of 2019 before I found out about Hex. The founder had a mental break right after we launched and disappeared, and so he was in the hospital for a long time. And I ran the place. I ran our own Epic Cash Asylum for about 3 months until he got better. And some things went down, and no one was paid. It was kind of a volunteer thing. And this week, this is why I do not like projects where people hide themselves. I'm going to tell you what's going on. These guys did a snapshot a year ago for everyone to get a copy of their new ECR token, which is going to be on, I think it's going to be Ethereum or something.
A year ago?
A year ago, there was a snapshot done, but they never launched it. They were planning on launching it soon. Well, they've canceling that snapshot. So anyone who had their coins back then no longer gets this new, new coin. They're doing a new snapshot. And I called bullshit on it,
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was like, what? I mean, and then they started calling me a criminal. They started calling me all these things in the chat, kicked me out of the Telegram. I mean, I'm like, man, is Randy attracting drama lately? I mean, this is crazy. And these are all my crypto anarchist people. These are the people that I follow, I've known for years. And I said, look, guys, you're just using it as a way to pump your goddamn coin. And sorry, Crypto Heartbeat. And I said, it made me really upset. They're calling me names after they kicked me out. And I thought about making a video, and I thought about, because I have screenshots from back in the day. I kept everything, man. I'm not stupid. So I was like, I thought about making a history of Epic Cash video. But you know what? I say, I'm doing so well with Hex and PulseChain, all these other things. I don't need any more drama. I said, okay, fine. You guys kick me out. Have fun with they've had like a 300X this year or in 2 years. Good luck. Have fun with your 300X. That pales into comparison to what we've had. It's just that it just shows you what these teams will do just to make a couple dollars.
Yep.
Canceling a snapshot you did and redoing it just doesn't seem fair.
Dude, that is awful.
Not at all.
I mean, you can only say 4 more weeks for so long, and then at that point, I don't even know. Like a year, I can't get by that.
Okay, so I do have something I want to say about what happened with Hex recently with the price dip.
Yes,
I'm straight up. I sold some. I had a Hex stake come out. I think it was when we were right about 45, 46 cents. I sold that whole thing, man. I'm a veteran in this space.
Good time to sell.
Yeah, I'm a veteran in this space. When I saw that huge green dildo that we had, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take some profits here. And what's funny, it was way more. It was probably about 100 times more than I invested in Hex in total. So I took profits, and I bought back I think it was 4 days ago at 16 and a half, 17 cents. And
Nice.
I doubled that stack.
So almost triple, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I took some, I actually used
Oh,
some,
okay. Yeah.
but I still doubled the stack, even buying things. I bought a brand new Volkswagen Touareg, come on, guys, so it's crazy, man. Hex is amazing.
The Touareg Hex Flex.
Yeah.
That's why dips are opportunities.
That's
Yes,
right.
they are.
All right. Well, a couple other noteworthy items of the day. So, Big K, I usually go to you on these. So we have another rejection for this ETF business.
Who cares?
Yeah, I know it's kind of like who cares, but at some point, this all bleeds over into other things. But any take on this? Are we ever going to see this next year? This cycle? Or just yeah.
It's just, I mean, I love you giving me this, passing this over to me because it is easy because I am like, I don't really give a shit.
I know. Still, I just want to see if you change your mind. So yeah,
doesn't really matter. I mean, it's the same kind of stupid. I mean, like I said, maybe someday, maybe. I mean, again, then there's a lot of fan fiction on like why that might be cool, and some people that you think that it might suck, and that's fine. But I think that it's eventually gonna come, maybe, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't fuck cares.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
my French.
I like to follow it just because I see this as more of a gateway drug to other shinier things, perhaps ones that we are holding. So I would love to see this happen because more people in the space would actually, be a benefit to everyone, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I just was coming in the Denver airport and they had grayscale ads as you're coming in.
Nice.
Am I angry about that? No, that's awesome. Kick ass. More, please. Spend your ad money on getting more people involved and caring more. Because I mean, that's how we get people involved. And they're coming for the X's, and when that only provides them a couple, they'll look for more.
Well, my second question then becomes, is this tweet accurate by our very own Steph? Is there a top involved here, or is this just another pause?
Steph is a little bit of a trader. I've looked at his wallet.
He's made some calls with Hex too, and I love him, but he has not had a wonderful track record sometimes with some of the public calls that he's made regarding Hex. But I mean, just throwing it out there, and I know many probably don't care, but I find it fascinating because I think we still could be months away from the end of this cycle. So I think it's kind of just another pause here, especially with ETH doing its thing. You're making new highs. New highs is bullish. You're not going to make new highs every day. For Hex, it certainly seemed like we were doing that for day after day after day for a while, but it does come to an end eventually. But it did seem like the news was front run, this ETF news, because the decline, I mean, it dropped probably $4,000 from its high before the news was even announced. So if you don't think there's big money in Bitcoin, there's your evidence right there. The ETF news was front run earlier today. So Randy Hilarski, did you buy that dip?
No,
I bought the dip.
I don't buy Bitcoin. Sorry.
No, the Hex dip, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, damn.
Yeah.
I killed it.
A certain Godwill also bought the dip, I believe. Yeah. So.
Oh, I beat him to it. I front ran him by about.
I did too.
A lot of people did.
Nice.
I was like, it feels really good when Godwill buys after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second time I've done it, right? We've all done it at least two times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except for Crypto Heartbeat, he came in a little bit late for the first one, but
Hey, I got this dip.
Cool. That's good.
Oh, you did?
Oh
Nice.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Excellent.
that's
I'm
awesome.
paying attention.
Good. Good. So I know your content is more, I guess, PulseChain related. So that, I guess, kind of answered my question. You're still kind of actively engaged in Hex with accumulating that coin as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, Hex is the reason I got in.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the PulseChain as the greatest experiment in blockchain history, in my opinion, with the system state. And so, definitely in the sacrifice set, but really, I'm really curious about these other coins that are being copied over and looking at what people are signaling that they're going to support. And to me, That's the thing I'm really, really curious about. But I mean, at the end of the day, hex on both sides is the key to long term. So,
And more pulse.
yeah,
And more pulse.
more pulse.
A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well said.
All right, Motley Investor.
Yes, Cabana Crypto.
This one is especially for you. I will use a tweet by our
MetaMask
friend.
related.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
They did come up with something today, but yeah.
We use a tweet from a friend of the show, Balliot Brand, regarding your favorite subject, Nomics.com. So
yeah.
let's put this thing to bed. I mean, I am of the opinion that use one metric for them all. They are clearly not. They're singling out Hex. I know we've spoken on it, but we talk a lot of matters on the show just because not everybody sees all of the wonderful Hex content that's out there and PulseChain content. So for those who haven't, or if you have any new takes as of today, because I also saw the Highest of Stakes just interviewed him, and I'm very curious as to what he had to say or how he could explain away pretty much a different standard of counting. I mean, it's not really true accounting if you make it different for one person than the other, but you've been all over this thing, so I will let you have the floor here.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was quite obvious. Wendy's for Tendies and I did a stream on this not too long ago. For me, it was quite obvious back. I think it was in September when he first started directing his line of questions, which he more or less knew the answers to already. So, and the way he was framing everything, it was quite clear to me what was going on and what was soon to come. So I was kind of mentally prepared for it already when the market cap finally was changed. And I mean, I was telling Hexicans, I got a lot of pushback for it. I was telling Hexicans, I was like, he's coming to change our market cap, just so you know. And I was like, oh, Clay wouldn't do that. Clay wouldn't do that. I was like, look at the line of questioning. He already knows this information. Like, he's just setting it up. Like, and got a lot of pushback for it. But I mean, I saw this coming pretty early on. And you know, it sucks. I really don't care how he wants to aggregate the market cap, but my stance is you have to apply it, like you said, across the board. It has to be applied to Bitcoin, has to be applied to Ethereum. And ironically enough, one, it's only Hex that's being targeted. Two, the OA tokens are probably more liquid and circulating than most any other founder coins, lost coins, you name it. It's staked, it's moved. It has the ability to the only thing the OA hasn't done, I would say, that other wallets have is they've dumped on their users' heads. So evidently you have to dump on your community's heads to counter circulating supply. Maybe that's it.
Then they're active coins.
Then they're active. I don't know. But yeah, so to me the hypocrisy kind of annoys me. It sucks because we helped bring them up, just like with Uniswap early on in the days. I felt there was a lot of underhanded jabs in that article as well. It's, to me, like when he referenced like, oh, we will never gatekeep you, lock you on 201 like CoinMarketCap, and we'll never just not list you like CoinGecko. Like, to me, this is worse because you use the community. Then when you no longer needed us, they're like, oh, thanks for the 5% that you guys are now of our traffic. It wasn't like that in the early days. It was 50, 60, 80% of their traffic. And I think it's more traffic than what they realize as is. And it sucks when you bring you think you have a comrade that you're coming up with, and then at the end when they no longer need you, it's just kind of a knife in the back thing. Again, I think if you follow the money trail, I think Steph alluded to this in a tweet as well, probably just getting ready for another round of corporate sponsorship, Coinbase, you name it, and they're just cleaning up. But again, there's too many large players and stuff in the ecosystem, ad dollars when it comes down to the big two, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and those can't be passed up. If they did, Nomics is going to suffer greatly. Their bottom line is going to suffer greatly. So if you're honest about it, cool. I don't mind it, but I don't think it was honest and wasn't applied across the board. So as far as I'm concerned, that trust and integrity is lost, and Nomics will never get it back. Again, we've already talked about it. It's irrelevant. A lot of people make up the point, just like, oh, we're further down. Cool. Like, we just passed Sheeb again for the first time. So I was just like, oh, cool. Groundhog's Day. We passed Sheeb again. Yay. Yeah. But it just is what it is. Market cap's a stupid vanity metric number, but at the same time, apply it to everyone if you're going to apply it to Hex. But don't get it twisted. Hex was definitely targeted in this and no other coin. So yeah, Clay's intent was not altruistic by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and I've said this on this show before that I'm fine with it because it raises the ceiling, albeit artificially to us, Hexicans, but to those who are obsessed with market cap, it does raise that ceiling to where it gives more headroom for Hex to go. And if you're that obsessed with market cap, well, we can go even higher now in value for those who are actually holding the coins. And if you want to obsess about a market cap vanity metric, you go right ahead. We'll climb right back there at some point.
See, but I'm not fine with it because at the same time, like this is the issue, is because if you do this, you're just continue to let people walk all over you. And this is why I push back so hard against Clay and his line of questions, because like I knew where he was going with it. You can't just sit here and let people stomp all over you, because they'll do it. Then we've seen the community get used and used again, because we're good at marketing. We're good at spreading the word, and companies have used this multiple times. So you can't just be complacent like, oh, it's cool now. Thanks, Nomics, for lowering us in the market cap. Really appreciate it. Now we can grow, because there's a lot of idiots out there that think market cap is a measurement that actually matters. So I push back a little bit against that. I don't think it's whatever.
I don't think that's been the case though, because people like you have pushed back. So the pushback has been quite noticeable, and there are just some out there that are like, okay, well, we did push back. You push back. It is what it is now. And
now ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
After maybe a few more memes, I'll ghost.
Matt, do you have any take on the Nomic situation?
I just go, I'm with you guys with market cap being a vanity metric, but what's interesting is there's this habit that Hex has of getting hit in the mouth and coming back. And I think that there's something that, if you look back in time at all the arrows people have been shooting at Richard, I mean, this is just another thing to come back from. And not that you are glad it happened, but I think that that's the thing that is the refining part of Hex, is that we know that it's a finished project. We know that it is a financial instrument. At least that's how I see it. And it's going to be utilized for what it's good at doing. And I think people are sore that, the way that things set up, I mean, Richard's smarter than the rest of them. And so I like this idea of us just working our way back up again. It's like getting knocked down and getting right back up.
There was a game in place, and Richard literally designed a coin that gamified the game that was in place. He took advantage of the rules that were set, and he made a superior product. Like, I mean, we've been saying that since day one. Like, Hex is that revolutionary. It is that much of a game changer in the space, and that's why we face so much resistance. That's why we have to push through this time and time again.
Well, and you see this isn't anything new either. I mean, you look at innovators anywhere, they're ridiculed at first. But what's going to end up happening is, my opinion is we're going to see a major market correction or crash, and we're going to see a lot of people looking around for yield. And I think that's where you'll see Hex really shine. And I think it's going to shine on the PulseChain, to be honest with you, because of, fees. But, this is early. Institutional money's not in, and this is a very viable financial instrument. And, it's got very few attack vectors, or if any. And to me, I think that that's one of the things that has been a challenge. And part of the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is kind of the Wall Street crowd, I think, can't get over the personalities. And, there's going to be a point in which they're going to have to say, I don't care. Yield is yield. And, and I think it's going to absolutely pour in and potentially be, a hedge. And I think the future looks really bright.
Well, Kinetics talks about this all the time in his industry with life insurance. Like, they are thirsty for yield, like something that Hex generates. Like, they would, if they knew about Hex, they would give their left nut to invest in it, because like they're desperate to look for just a couple % just to make their business model work. So they're always scouring for new things. So like when you bring stuff like the traditional finance and you introduce them to something like trustless yield that Hex has, like, it's a game changer. And the industries that figure that out first are going to be wildly successful, along with all of us.
Yeah, I think people talk about this concept of viral or pre-viral. I think the Hex contract is so smart in what it does, and I think it needs to be presented to, industry folks as a financial instrument. Because a lot of times these coins have come out and we put them on par, right? This kind of apples to apples comparison, but there's not really a comparison, because when you have reflected a probably the most popular financial instrument that's ever existed. That's different than a meme coin. And so, to me, it's apples and oranges. And I think that once people realize, okay, I'm going to use this contract for what it's useful for, and that's what smart contracts are for. But I think a lot of times people are judging us based on, a meme coin. That these things are equal. They're not equal. It's different.
Agreed. Well said.
Hey, Big K.
Hey.
Okay.
He's awake. He's just lagging.
He's
Gary.
frozen. Shout out to Funding Jim. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
I'm up. Just laggy. Which is weird.
Yeah, your visuals are beautiful though. You look like Grant up there, man.
Are you back in Puerto Rico, or are you still in the States?
No, I'm in the States right now. I'm over in Denver.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, Huddle Dog, for those who haven't seen it, put out a
Twitter jail
video today. Yes, he was in Twitter jail.
Recently released.
Yes, he's recently released from Twitter jail, and I just wanted to play a minute or two of his video that he put out today because
awesome. I haven't got a chance to look at it.
Huddle Dog
Pretty spicy.
It is a very
pretty spicy.
He's a calm, tall man.
Don't piss him off.
Don't piss this guy
you
off.
You can tell this is one of the things he cares about.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Him and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
We really thought we had a friend. He even came to our community. We invited him. He came to our streams. He explained. He learned about HEX. We wasted even resources to educate this motherfucker. And now all he's done is just adopting HEX circulating supply. No worries. I don't want to hurt you with this bullshit article where you can see and write line by line why he's doing what. And of course, he can do the fuck whatever he wants to do, but it is just not right. If you're going to have a site where you're going to rank some coins transparently, you should adjust all the supplies of all the coins, because most of the coins are held centralized, 90% or plus of the tokens by the founders. And now just with a little calculation, a weird reduction of this total supply of HEX, we went below top 10. We even went to top 20, I think. And then after a while, this stupid motherfucker just agreed with the HEX community about adding locked and burn supply back into circulation. We're discussing a solution internally. Thanks for the endpoint. Yeah, he even received a nice endpoint because this endpoint for the API requests are there since the beginning. Nice that you found out after 2 years that there is a reliable API outside to get the right numbers. But so far, what I want to point out is here, you just can negotiate, you can talk with them, and they just adjust the circulating supply. They adjust the total supply. So there's really random shit going on. Nothing is really clear what they're doing. Of course, they can do what they want. It's their site, but you should not come to our community, ask for help, and really waste useful hours. And then on the third tweet, he just, okay, in an hour, locked supply will be added. This should place HEX market cap at around 13. So what? You are really like this? And then you just even ban me just because I say go and eat the fucking dick. They made up.
Oh my
Tell
goodness.
us how you really feel.
I mean,
It's my boy right there.
That shit's great.
he was on it. And you could tell he was riled up. That Twitter jail thing.
See how Reddit's face was?
Yeah.
He got angry. He was angry.
Yeah. You pissed off the dog, man. So
Well, you know the show go to show you how little research Clay did in this too, and I'm still waiting on Gunther to get back to me to confirm, but I'm actually pretty sure in Gunther's audit, you can only track somewhere between like about 40 to 50% actually directly correlated with the OA address. The rest of it is just like suspected OA wallets. Like you can't actually verify that on the blockchain, and none of that's included in our. So there's another thing, Clay, if he wants to go and mess around with stake coins and adding that, he can go add those accounts back too. But because he guy did not do much research into it, but I think there's like another 30, somewhere between 30 and 40% coins that are suspected to be the OA's wallet, but you can't actually verify it on the blockchain. So it's the whole thing is just stupid. Like Huddle Dog said, like, in my opinion, the guy's trash, lost all his integrity, and just move on.
any comment on this comment there, Motley?
Circulating subjective prone to bias. It's not surprised. What's in there? Yeah, that's cool. Apply the same metrics he's applying to HEX to all the other coins. That's fine. Easy as that.
I mean, I've launched over 30 ICOs. I've worked on over 40 projects, and every project, the team has their coins centrally owned and set aside.
Yep.
So I don't know.
It's
what
mostly
the problem
crypto.
is.
It's about 99% of crypto. It's just how it is, but it's only targeted towards HEX. That's where the issue is. You guys just don't understand that, I guess. Some of you.
What's up, Blaze?
What's up, Blaze?
I think that some people just would rather they would rather play nice and be on a be friendly with the ranking site, and like no, I'm not. I agree. It's because of their comfort levels. They feel comfortable with that stuff. It's how they comfortably show this to other people, especially other people who have crypto, who like again aren't really I feel like the target, like my main targets, anyways. So. Part of me that can walk a mile in whoever's shoes can like empathize a little, but I still think I agree with you. They're wrong, and they should, if they're going to apply that to us, it should be applied across the board. So like that sucks. I mean,
whatever. I can't wait for the excuse when we get back to number 3 again.
That's right.
What the next one is.
Yeah, there'll be another.
It's just inevitable. We'll just see him again in a little time here.
Look, guys, it's just the nature of the beast. People wanted. He had a brand new platform, and he latched onto the HEX community. We pulled them up just like we did with Uniswap, and made them famous. I remember that the Crypto Vigilante guys. I showed them Nomics. I said, "Look, at the time we were like 8 or 9. This is like over a year ago." And they're like, oh, that's bullshit. What is a Nomics? Never heard of Nomics.
What is the Nomics?
Now we know Nomics. Everyone does, but doesn't matter. They used us.
Yeah, they had money.
Oh, Vogel. Okay.
I think you meant Alex.
Alex Saunders.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
I knew what he meant. I got it.
Maybe Peter was on purpose, but anyway, yeah. So it was interesting that the highest of stakes is, I guess, interviewing Clay. Not that he's like totally against.
I'm sure he'll love the free advertisement.
Oh, I'm sure he will too.
Congratulations, Clay.
Yeah. And what's noteworthy about that is, it is a documentary. Grant has said that time and again. It's not some pro Hex puff piece or pro Richard or anything. It is a documentary. And pretty much the definition of documentary, if you include it, is taking all sides of everything. So at least they're getting this side. And I also had another clip from Adam Stokes, and I found this really interesting. He had a really good chat the other day, and I just wanted to pull this up because this kind of goes along with the guys at the highest of stakes, looking, where are these Hex haters that will actually come out and talk to us. And this nugget from Adam Stokes I thought was particularly interesting.
We've been through this cycle, or at least one cycle, but of course, Richard was in much earlier than that. But I recall clearly when I spoke about Hex, when it wasn't an interview with Richard, it was when I just spoke about Hex. So many of my long-time subscribers, and I was really disappointed by it. They just crap out of me. That's been really abusive for me. I've been following you for years and I'll never follow you again. And I've lost all respect for you, or how dare you promote a scam? And it was just absolutely relentless. So I replied to all of these people and said, look, I really value your opinion. You've been with the channel for a long time. Can you come onto the channel so I can get the other side? And I said to them online in the comments and then in emails in the background when they were abusing me in the emails as well. I'm like, I'm not having a go at you. I'm not promoting this thing. I'm talking about it. I'm exploring it. I want to learn about it. I've heard all the pros for Hex. Now I want to hear the cons. So let's balance the argument. And no one would come on the channel. No one would come and say, oh, I'm too busy. Google it. Do your research. And I'm like, I am doing the research. I'm going through the effort to see this side and that side. And I want to hear the other side.
Good luck.
Yep. And
that would actually be a very good interview for you, Matt. It's with Adam Stokes. You guys would vibe very well together. You should reach out to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, he'll definitely do that. I would think. I haven't spoken with him, but that would be a great piece of content there too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the documentary people for like jumping on it and trying to get as much of whatever is happening, like you said, in the community
Flying
as
out there
possible.
the next day.
Yeah, yeah, oh
Awesome.
yeah. I mean, they're on top of it. They have their nose to the grindstone. I mean, they're really. I mean, I'm very impressed. But it's also out of necessity too, because of the like that's a piece of the movie that we do need, and like it's just. Like, where are they? Where is somebody, please? You know, like this is we could use a hater. You know,
Crypto Panda did a video on this not too long ago. To make a good documentary show movie, like you need conflict, you need controversy, you need drama,
adversity.
Like, adversity. Like if it's just like, hey, we came, we saw, we won, and then we left. Like it would be the most boring documentary ever. So like they're thirsty for it, and so few of our haters want to actually go on record for the documentary because they deep down, most of them know they're wrong, but their brand is built around being correct and being the gurus of the space. Most of them aren't man enough or woman enough to admit it, so they don't go back and like, hey, I was wrong. Very few people actually do that. So a lot of these guys continue to go on, push back, but when they're presented the opportunity of like, hey, we're doing a documentary, would you like to go on and state your case? All of a sudden, it's crickets. Funny how that works.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, which they should. It's like those people, if they are like gurus of the industry, they really are missing an opportunity themselves because like this documentary. I mean, if we've all watched the trailer, like it's not specific. I mean, it's hex focused to a degree, but like there's more to it. I mean, we're trying to, you know, enlightentainment style, give everybody a piece of like crypto, like teach them a little bit about it all, you know, and like get them interested in the what is even going on here. So like you'd think that they would want to be able to have their part of the story told in some regards, you know.
Yeah, because I know Grant was talking about going to like an NFT convention and doing some other stuff outside of Hex. Like I don't think people realize that like they are doing. Again, like you said, it's hex focused, but they are doing all of crypto, all general of crypto. Like, I mean, it's very cool because I mean, at the end of the day, this is where we're starting to trend. Like younger generations, my generation, generations before me, like no one wants to invest in the stock market anymore. Like no one, like we missed our opportunity to get into Coke and Amazon and all this stuff early on. Like the new younger generations, like crypto is their new asset class, and that's where they're looking to put their money. Like it's the only way you can really even get out of the 9-to-5 grind anymore. Like even traditional finance or real estate or any of that stuff, like it's with inflation and taxes, like good luck getting out of the rat race. Like you need something that does a 10,000x to just break those chains. Like it barely exists anymore.
Yeah, and for the adversity aspect, I think like the very beginning of that sizzle reel kind of captures a little bit. And was it somebody released a video around the holidays last year. It was like the 16-minute, and it was the evolution of Hex kind of thing, and it had all the haters. I mean, it's documented. Like they are on YouTube and they are out there hating on it and just, you know, crapping all over Richard, the lawyers with Tone Vase and all that. So that's out there. It's documented. And, you know, it's there for content, and they can, I'm sure, you know, repurpose that or reuse it. You know, and be like, okay, the hate is there, or it was there at least. And I think it's almost more compelling because it's like, okay, you guys said this. Where are you now? We're willing to talk to you. Come on. Crickets. And, you know, to me, that says almost more than, you know, some of these people stepping up, which we have yet to see. Maybe someone will. I don't know. But
yeah, there's your validation right there.
A great point.
Yeah.
None of them are willing to step up.
Yeah, and Grant brought up, oh, sorry, man.
By the way, yeah, I just wanted to specify that was the 2021 Hex Rewind, right? By Hex Cadet. So.
Hex Cadet.
Still my favorite video.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
like I felt that one.
Oh my gosh, we all felt it. We remembered so many of those moments, and it was. I mean, for a short film of, you know, the adversity and the hate at the beginning, and then the slow build, and then overcoming it, it was pretty awesome.
Actually, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to send that to the highest of stakes just to have that footage, because I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that'd be a good send.
Yeah,
I totally thought my crypto career was done. I thought I was finished when a couple months after I started in Hex.
Yeah. People came after you, and the whole.
And then I got
You
my
said it
Twitter
before.
account got banned for 6 months.
I remember that.
It
Yeah.
was just so many things. It was just one after another. I really, and plus the whole CV thing, getting locked down in your house, all that stuff on top. I was so depressed. Thank God. I mean, even though Hexo and I don't really get along, I really appreciate the fact that Hexo was there during that period, because it gave us something to do every night,
Yep.
you know, and care about. And I actually put a lot more money into Hex because of the community.
Well, that's another dynamic too, right? That's truly unique to Hex. Like we came up in the bear market, but we also came up in this world pandemic, this COVID, that like we've never seen anything like this, where like the entire world shut down, everyone was locked down, everyone was in their houses, not working. And all of a sudden it just opened up like the internet. Like, I mean, the internet's always been there, but like it opened up this kind of virtual friendship, family, all this stuff. And like the Hex community, like we were, not only did we have to fight off all the haters and stuff, but it's forged this virtual family online. Like everyone in chat, like I know everyone in chat, I know everyone on screen. Like this, like I don't have like polished or clean content like Crypto Heartbeat does, but what I do enjoy doing is just coming on and chatting with my family at this point. Like they are my family. So like I come on, like I was like, man, I miss these guys. I'll go hop on stream and talk to them for the next hour or two, because it's a family. And like, where else do you see that in an asset that you've invested in? Like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No,
It's so weird to get those weird phone. RG3 will call me at like 8 a.m. or I'll get a dollar cost crypto. DCC will call me at like
3 a.m. for DCC.
It's like late at night, and I'm like, wait, will you call me? I've been in bed for 2 hours.
Hey, you up? Like I'm in the process of trying to sleep.
I've never had this before ever in crypto.
Yeah, I'd be if it wasn't for that part of the world thing, I wouldn't. I'd be straight up. I wouldn't be here. I've always been a social person and always worked tons of different events and been out and active, you know. And if it wasn't for the fact that was like all basically taken away, I wouldn't have had any time on my hands to come and live stream at all. So like I would have probably, I still was in Hex and knew about it, but like I definitely wouldn't have, you know, spent the time that I have with y'all. And like, you know, now I've now there's plenty of other things for me to do, and I'd still rather be here. You know, it's weird.
Yep.
Yeah. A little breaking news from Tim Benjamin. Hex Cadet told me he is going to make another rewind for this year too. Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to. My wife's told me we got a little emergency at the house, and so I apologize for having to jump off here. I would not do this. I told her, "Is it an emergency?" and she said yes. So I hate to bust out on you guys.
All good. Thank you for coming on. We'll do it again.
And thank you for having me. Literally, I asked her. I was like, "These guys." I've committed to them, and she's like, I really need you. So something must be really serious. So I appreciate you guys.
I hope all is well, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
So
well,
I just
guys,
want to make
we suck.
we
It was a joke-off.
Matt the whole
It was a joke-off. Then he last an hour.
His wife was watching this. His wife was watching the stream and says, "You better get your ass off of that."
What's it called? Happy hour.
Get off those DJs. Like,
I just want to say something about what I just. Oh, Funding Jim. Okay,
Funding Jim.
Go with this.
Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Hexkins are persistent. Rock on, Funding Jim. Thank you.
So I just saw a tweet by Eric Wall.
Oh boy,
that was really disappointing. The Pulse Doge team made a meme of him and Richard when they did that
interview.
That interview, like what, 2 years ago. And Eric took it, he cut it, and he put that as his new profile pic. And then he made the comment, so fucking cringe. He said, "Oh, they should have made Richard fatter in the meme." I'm like,
I'm gonna fight that dude when I see him.
Dude, what the hell, Eric? Man, this guy is so cringe.
I blocked him a long time ago.
I remember watching that interview for the first time, and
I enjoyed the interview the first time. Like,
but
now,
I mean, the one quote, like I think most people remember, is like, "This is the dumbest effing idea I've ever heard of." Oh, is it now? Okay, it's clearly not, and you were the dumb one for dismissing it. So, but he plays this, you know, I don't even know what to call it. What's the adjective, but it's just like, oh, you
intellectual.
Yes,
Yeah,
arrogant intellectual. It's like, yeah, so many people have already blocked him. It's like, yeah, block. But yeah, back to also the gatekeeping thing. Motley, I don't know if you saw this part last week because you weren't on, but Grant was saying
I was on a plane.
Yeah, we were asking. Yeah, you were in airports or between flights. Another really interesting thing was Grant was saying one of the I think it was the very first question was in Copenhagen, and the lady there he literally met like out in the hall, and she's like, "What is this for? What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, it's, for a crypto documentary or meetup or something like that." And she's like, "Can anyone
I think
get
I
in?"
did catch this.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, come on in." She was the first one to ask him a question, and the first question she said was, "How come I have never heard of this before?" And that just spoke volumes. And I was like, man, that's a nice piece of content right there for you.
Yeah,
because
clip it.
Yep. Because that sums up so much. It's like, how come I've never heard of it? This is my first time hearing about this.
And that's the thing is we're all fortunate to be here, right? Like we've all talked about our origin stories and how we ended up here. But like, I mean, mine was literally because I followed Doug Polk because he was a poker player and he was making fun of BitConnect at the time. Like I enjoyed his videos; they were entertaining, and he just happened to interview this very eccentric guy in a throne with long hair, dressed looked like a '70s couch wearing for his shirt. I was like, "Who the hell is this?" And then he spoke, and I was just like, wow, I was like, this guy's really intelligent, and I love poker. And by the end of it, he made a lot of good arguments and points against why poker's kind of a waste of your time. And I was just like, wasn't expecting it. It caught me off guard. And then that small clip just like led me 2 years, 3 years. I don't even know how long, probably 3, almost 4 years ago now, led me to the point that I am today, and just financially free with a new group of friends and family. And it's just it's weird the little things in life that just kind of lead you to where you are today. And like we all have those different stories, and it's interesting to kind of think back and just think if maybe you didn't watch that YouTube video that day, like your life could be totally different.
Or just Richard Hart in general. Like so many people can just watch like 30 seconds of it and be turned off. But if you actually give the man some time and actually listen to people and get past a curse word or 5, like back in the day, and actually listen to actually what he's saying without being triggered instantly, which so much of our society is just instantly, oh my gosh.
Yes.
You allow yourself to do that. And where are you now? I mean, you are so better for it.
I think it's people with thicker skin, and I think our community has a lot of people that are very good at reading people in general. I think a lot of us are very good at reading people. So it was very easy for us to get past like Richard's perceived rough exterior, and for us, like you could see like the very sincere guy who cared and really just wanted to make people better and make the world better. And so like for us, like there was never like doubt in my mind from like the first video I watched of him. It's like, oh, this guy's very intelligent. He wants the good for a lot of people. And like to me, I never saw Richard as like, he's talking about dick jokes or cussing at people and angry. Like to me, I saw someone that like truly cared, very intelligent. And I mean, what people perceive as a rough exterior, I just see it as someone who tells it like how it is and doesn't like fluff and put bullshit in your face just to make you feel better. Like I respect that more than all this fake shit that we see these days.
I appreciate those sentiments, but disagree with one part. I did not like him to begin with because he talked shit about coins I liked.
Oh yeah, you were on Team Bcash. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you're one of the Bcash.
That's
guys,
one of my favorite stories, man.
That kind of just takes all your credential right away.
I was like, but to be fair, when I decided that I didn't like him and blocked him, it was specifically for those like totally narrow-minded reasons. Like I didn't even listen to like. I wasn't about dick joke. I couldn't that like honestly, some of that is actually the stuff that I'm bummed I missed the most is like all the funny shit in between there that when he was blocked that I didn't see any of his content that I had to like go rewatch it. The fact that I wasn't like in hindsight that I wasn't a part of any of that like that bums me out because the shit's hilarious. You know, I completely missed like the genuineness of him and like his, you know, the everything that he brings to the table because he talks shit about a coin I like. That was as simple as that. I mean, like, it's so stupid, you know. I mean, his arrogancy didn't help, you know, but I mean, it was mostly the coin.
Are those brownies, Big K?
Oh my gosh, these donuts. Okay, I was just brought my wife just brought me a fantastic glass of wine.
Wine with donuts.
And these donuts, they come in like little rings of like these little beads. They're like a specialty donut place here in Denver.
Are they like was it like
mochi donuts? Yes.
Yeah,
you got it.
I got you, bro. I got them.
Yeah, yeah. They're
delicious.
There's a pile of them in the other room. So.
It was simple. It was simple for me in the beginning. He was a Bitcoin maxi, and I didn't listen to Bitcoin maxis. Period. So simple.
That's it. End of story.
I guess it was just me then. I don't know. I liked Richard from the start.
I just tend to like people who speak their minds. I don't really care if you curse or whatever. I don't tend to do that much in my, you know, regular everyday life. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like just tune you out just because of one thing that might, you know, offend somebody else or something like that. I'm willing to.
That's me. I'm that guy. I'm not anymore, but apparently I was. I mean, it was a money-based thing, you know. It's all like me struggling to figure out what was. Like, I was like, "Fuck this guy," you know, because it angered me. And like, I mean, losses anger people and make them do dumb things. I mean, definitely, like at the bottom of it, I learned the most from that, you know. So,
well, and that's the crazy thing too, is because like I have some friends and stuff that like, you know, they've seen most of Richard's content now, and like sometimes they don't even tune in, and I'll like fill them in on what he said, but like I could watch 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 hours of Richard's content, and yeah, I could pretty much repeat back his arguments and all his stances on everything verbatim at this point. But there's always like every stream, I always find like one little bit of piece of knowledge that I just didn't know, I wasn't aware of before, and like. I think Gary talked about this on the stream that Crypto Heartbeat, Crypto Panda, and Rags to Riches did earlier. It's just like these past 2 years of education that I've gotten from Richard and this community have been like invaluable to me. So like even coming away with like one piece of information at this point, like I find highly valuable, and I'm willing to commit hours of my time just to continue to learn from that man, because I've learned so much over the past 2 years. And like he talks about, like when you're financially free, you don't have stressors of like a job and everything like that, like your IQ goes
Your
up.
IQ actually goes up. Yeah,
exactly. You're able to go and learn new things and stuff that you were restricted by time beforehand, that you had to go punch that clock from 9 to 5, and you're tired, and then you just wash up, maybe go work out, and then go to sleep, and just rinse and repeat. Like financial freedom is like the biggest hex flex you can do at this point.
Yeah, you're in survival mode. I mean, it's just I mean, you're sure you got food and whatever, but like your money is in survival mode, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you are observant, you see that the logo in the upper right has changed.
Oh.
Now let us take a look at the tweet that set the world ablaze yesterday.
No, you said my key word.
A-bits?
Ablaze.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
So, PulseChain mainnet will start in 7 days on November 18th. I don't know the exact timing, though. I mean, I think
say
this
December 2nd.
rather
November 18th, I think, is an announcement date. Snapshot, potentially. Who knows?
Okay. But I thought, Motley, I was going to have you and Vince chat this out. Because
I know.
Yeah,
I want to duke it out with Vince on this one. So
Randy and Big K, feel free to jump in, but go ahead.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, you can go look at Richard's little birthday tweet, which was very obscure at the time. I remember this pretty vividly because me and Wendy's Fraternities were in Portugal at the time.
Yeah.
And so you had Richard's birthday tweet, very obscure, and then like he some reason he mentions this birthday time, which a lot of people try to associate with astrology and all this nonsense. But usually Richard does do these cryptic tweets when he doesn't want to come right out and say something, but just leave that kind of like breadcrumbs. So his birthday, a lot of people have been asking me about my birthday time, which is 11/18. don't know who asked about normal people ask about birthday time. And then on top of that, a lot of people had been asking him nonstop when PulseChain. So there was that. It was funny because Wendy's, Fratendes, and I were in the hotel room in Portugal, and then Hexo started tweeting stuff like, I was like, oh, like Richard's cryptic tweets, and then he starts like, hey, if you knew the launch of PulseChain, like, would you disclose it? And so like Wendy's Fratendes and I, and like he gets the credit for this. Like we were going through his tweets, and I was like, this birthday tweet's really obscure, so we went and looked at it, and we caught the like birthday time, 11/18, all that stuff, and like, oh shit, and like, well, and then like Hexo commented on there the same thing like a couple hours later. About it, like, hey, is it launching 11/18? And like, oh shit, someone filled Hexo in on this, or he like kind of connected the dots at the same time too. And it was a combination of that. Then Brent, who's very close with Richard, if you guys haven't seen, he's been in the documentary, following him around, was one of the main marketing guys, does a little bit of coding as well. And he's like, hey, if I were you guys, if you knew what I knew, you would be buying all the Hex you can. Then he did a poll saying dates that you think PulseChain is going to launch. November 19th was the day in there, which is big payday, but that would be the same as like, say, rolling over 11/18 00 UTC, or where he lives, which I believe is UK or somewhere in Europe where he's ahead of time. Yeah. So again, that also fits into that narrative of 11/18. And my stance on it is the mainnet's not going to launch, but it could be potentially a snapshot. Let's say it's take a snapshot, and then they continue to run tests. They bring out testnet 2, make sure everything works, and they launch back. They fork from that snapshot, which could have been on 11/18. And that actually works out perfectly, where 2 weeks from then is December 2nd. That's the London party. That's the 2-year anniversary of Hex. And anyone who happens to be the edge case and has a stake that's ending on November 18th, that's the perfect 2-week time window where they can still end their PulseChain stake and not accrue any penalties as well. So everything just started to kind of align too much. Again, it's like one of those conspiracy theories where like everything just seems to kind of work and fit neatly. But after you started chaining that together, and then they had one of the main PulseChain devs in the voice chat as well, saying like, hey guys, like this is a lot further along than what you think. November, December is very possible launch dates. And like, so once you start tying all those pieces and put it together, then it was just kind of a fun conspiracy theory to throw out there. And then the whole Twitter and community was kind of bummed out about the price and all that shit too. So honestly, I like the fact of just kind of like trying to change everyone's mindset and giving them some optimism. And just, I mean, at the end of the day, what's worst case that happens? PulseChain doesn't launch and they bought the dip. Congratulations. Like you just made multiple X's. You get more Hex, you get your copy, and you can go buy more PulseChain when it launches. So, I mean, worst case scenario, people become richer for it. So we had some fun with it. But those are my reasons why I think November 18th is probably going to be maybe a snapshot, maybe an announcement.
I was gonna say,
like
I brought up that
time
question.
window. Who knows?
I brought up that question. I think you were answering it there. So I think you already pretty much did. How can the snapshot and mainnet launch have any time between them?
Yep. So take a snapshot and then you could go back and fork from that snapshot. No?
You could, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Why not?
Yeah, I was actually listening to one of Gerardo's streams he did with John Wick a few days ago, and
I need to go.
They clarified that you don't when it comes to forks, you don't really even need a snapshot. It just you just set a target block date.
And that's when the block is when it's.
But you could do it from a snapshot potentially. No,
you could. But
say you continue to run. Why not?
Because of the way that I believe that the way that that forks happen is the fork is the date, the block it forks. You know, like from that moment that you have a split of the chain, and what you have on the one side is the one, and what you have on the other side is the other. I mean, you could like have a snapshot and then start a new network with that, but like it's just for the continuity of what we're doing with blockchain. I think that there shouldn't be a snapshot and then the release date. I think it will be all one.
It could just be the announcement then. So it could just be the window that Richard's alluded to, like, hey, this is your time to start buying Hex.
Yeah, you might get you'll get in a block like that's what you'll get is like a range of blocks that they'll probably be able to happen in. And that'll be that, you know, so have your shit ready by then, because like there's just because like I mean when you think of snapshots, I always think of like situations in which you need some information over here and then like you're actually doing something on a whole separate spot, or you're giving someone on something else that's already running over here. You know, like I just don't think that like when you're forking the two networks, you're gonna just have one.
I've seen in some of his live videos of these meetups, so he's kind of gone back and forth. Like I know originally he was very specific with the word fork, but then it seems in some of his recent videos he's kind of gone back and forth a little bit on Snapshot and fork,
he's been a little
it's kind of been a back and forth. So again, like I'm just saying,
I mean,
like, all the chips are on the table. You're better buying your hex now than later.
Oh yeah,
put it that way.
I mean, like I don't think that there's any like I think that all of the minor in the minutia of it, like what the fuck, like none of that should sway your opinion on your you know. Besides doing it before you have to worry about all that stuff, you know. Like
there's also a pretty good comment in chat from It Is Now. Basically, he says like if you do a snapshot before the actual fork, then that time in between the snapshot and the fork. If people buy hex, then their bags don't get copied over.
I agree, but at the same time,
that's
I agree.
How some things work.
Time, that's on you. Yeah, like you waited 2 more weeks to buy your hex. Like we had an amazing dip that you didn't buy hex, and I mean, at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own actions, your own purchases, and if you happen to buy later after a snapshot, then oops, like too bad. You got to take some responsibility for yourself at some point.
Randy.
Yeah. So I like the 1118 thing. I don't know. It's going to be significant. We just don't know what it is going to be yet. But the thing that I tweeted out was the December 2nd photo that Brent Morrissey did with the 2 chains, that he was holding the 2 chains. So So that
2 chains and hex logo.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't know if it's that joint I just got finished with, or this is all just straight. I really think people like are like they're reading into a lot of shit. I know
it's fun. Shut up.
It's fun.
Yeah, because let's see, it's actually 1 chain, but it's wrapped twice. But then there was 2 on each. Like,
listen, man, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And all my conspiracy theories have been coming true in the last 2 years. So,
okay. I'm not saying no. I just don't want to get the good people out there too overhyped about it all, because like I mean we really have fucking no idea, and like I mean until Richard comes out and says something to somebody, which you know, hey, you could do that, like we're all like a lot of cats on the edge of their seats to see how you're doing, man.
You know what the beautiful thing is though, Big K, if they bought at like somewhere between like the 15 18 cent range, they're already much richer, and then soon to be even more richer. What an awful problem to have.
I think that everything's just fine, so I'm not worried whatsoever, but I understand how you know people can feel, you know, like I said, I'm good with empathy, so like I get it, but like at the end of the day, you know, I am aware, sir.
It's a flaw.
But
there's also I'm working on it, but I'm not.
There's also one other thing to consider, which is I heard that they're going to the devs are planning to reset the testnet and then have a testnet 2, basically. So that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I remember that. So that hasn't happened yet. And then like when that happens, you're supposed to get your second, you know, like your balances, your expected balances should be on there. Yeah. So that's you know,
maybe that's something that could happen on 18.
Yeah, it comes down to no one knows shit. Yeah. You don't know if it's a fork. You don't know if it's a snapshot. You honestly don't know shit unless you're Richard or a core dev member, and like I mean core dev member probably, because he's probably even careful with who he releases that information to. You don't know, so you can sit there and try to claim this hill or that hill, like you don't know. So
exactly, Hex Monkey's right. Get your bags in order. Like I'm getting my bags metaphysically and physically ready, and I'll be chilling in London. And like whatever happens on the 2nd, you know, like whatever, it's all good, you know, like I'm not planning on making.
I'll be celebrating with you.
Yeah, I'm the last to like go after some of these conspiracy things, but when the founder and some
very close people,
put out some little things like that, like I don't think it would be just a straight diversion. I can't see that happening. I'm kind of like with Randy here, like there's got to be something to it. You know, and
I'd be glad to be wrong, because like I want shit to happen now, so let's do this shit, you know. I mean, that's like,
then what are we gonna do for the next I'm sure we have 10 more projects for us to help. We're gonna get airdropped all of them. You know?
Children of the Grave is with you, Big K, by the way.
That's right. I feel you, brother.
Big King, do you remember what it felt back in the day when we got our Bitcoin Cash for the fork of Bitcoin? Dude, and people are like, where's the money come from? Well,
yeah,
it's speculation, baby.
How far we've come.
well, yeah, and I mean, like you have now a lot of like
now we're like
tangible
MedMask, print me that shit.
yeah, that's what I mean. Is there's tangible evidence that like when things split, that like there's oftentimes more value there. You know, a $10 coin splits and it's like 6 and 5 or 7 and like there's a little bit extra there because you've got two new communities doing two new things that like have and like whichever one was feeling restricted by the other one now have some freedom to do whatever they were actually trying to get accomplished. Like there can be good things that come of that, and for speculative purposes, like oftentimes there's at least directly afterwards there's more value there. So I don't know. But it was cool. I mean, like being a part of that was cool. Being a part of this is way cooler. Like it is interesting to see technology moving forward and like people having a, kind of like control over it to some degree, that like they choose what network and community and all the rest to participate with, because there's a lot of projects out there. There's a lot of projects. You can waste your time. And people always, talking to me about crypto, like asking me what else, what other projects, this, and and you're like, listen, man, I know there is other cool stuff out there happening somewhere, possibly, but like, I can't expend all of my energy all the time on 10,000 different coins here. And like, I found something that is awesome and good and has a lot of upside potential right here, right now. So like, why am I going to waste your time with a bunch of Google searches on a bunch of ridiculous ranking sites of pretty, icons that are going to, like, I don't know about any of that stuff. I can tell you something that's good now.
Found something awesome that's cool, amazing now, revolutionary. Amazing events coming up over the next maybe weeks, months, who knows. There's just so much money, opportunity, everything. Like if you want to get rich, if you want to become financially free, all this stuff, like all the trigger words that influencers always like to throw at you, like this is the space. And like all of us on the screen, like we've devoted so much time and like we've put more effort into the space and community. Like we know what's coming down the pipeline. Like we know the success that is coming. Like to me, to allocate my time elsewhere is, for the time being, is like it's a waste of resources. Like this is where I'm going to make generational wealth on top of generational wealth. Like this is where you truly get to experience the life-changing wealth that not only do you get to meet all your needs, but your family needs, but this is where you really get to start branching out. And like, I was talking to one of Rackham's friends who was doing some charity work back home where I'm from in Jacksonville with like kids. And like, I'm moving back there soon. So I was like hitting him up. I was like, yo, like, let me know what you're doing. Like, I want to get back and like help out the community. I appreciate everything you've been doing. So I'm like, I'm going to reach out to him. And like, this is like when it truly matters, like when you don't have to worry about yourself, your family, and you really just get to reach out beyond yourself and help the community and help less fortunate people than yourself. And like that's where that true meaning and like desire comes from. It's like being able to impact the world out beyond your normal circles. So like this is 100% of my focus, time, energy, 24/7. This is where it's allocated for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah, that goes to that goes to show right there, man. I mean, sorry, Randy, I apologize for cutting you off twice.
No problem.
It does go to show it, man. People that are in this community are super intelligent too. Like again, there's a lot of other crypto communities out there. But like everybody you catch on stream, everybody that like most people that have that are saying things in the community have good, intelligent conversation to bring up. And are like usually involved with other things in business as well. Like this is not their only game, and they would rather be spending their time here working on this stuff, talking to people about this than most anything else, So that shows that, the right kind of people are here and taking it seriously as if, we're working within business requirements, like there's a lot of things that I've learned in just being a part of the HEX community about, whether it be, Randy's foray of marketing, that I had no idea about any of that stuff before I was involved with HEX whatsoever, or, anything else that's going on, whether it be the graphic design stuff, the coding that I've paid more attention to in Ethereum and through all of this that I wouldn't have given a shit about otherwise, there's a lot of things that people are, spending a lot of hard-earned time on make this community better, and it shows. You know that I'm
Randy,
impressive.
go ahead.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if we're like the entity of Mr. Beast, like our whole community? We're gonna have that possibility now. I have a little story. I was at the park last week or a couple weeks ago now with my son, and here in Panama, just like there's still like 30% unemployed after the whole pandemic thing. So they're out there, and the guy's giving away candies, or he's selling candies for like 25 cents each. This is kind of a third world country, so you can still get by doing that. And he sat down, and I sat down next to him because my son's playing, and I got nothing to do. And I was asking him, how's life going? I've seen you around here and all that kind of stuff. He's like, oh, I'm 36. I haven't worked in a year and a half. I have a son at home, and my wife, she's not working. And I said, wow. I said, that really sucks, man. And I had just happened to go to the ATM, right? So I just happened to have a bunch of cash on me.
Randy was flush.
Yeah, I was flush at the moment. That's how the universe works, right? So I just reached in my pocket, and I just gave him a couple $100. I said, hey,
my God.
I said, listen, this is what I'm going to do for you. I said, in a couple weeks, I'm going to meet up with you. And I was hoping that PulseChain would be launched. In a couple weeks, I'm going to meet up with you, and I'm going to set you up with this cryptocurrency called HEX. And he didn't even know what cryptocurrencies were. Right? I said, I'm going to give you $500 worth of HEX, and I'm going to have you staked for 15 years. I said, this is going to be your retirement. And this guy started crying. He's like, to me, obviously to us, it's not a lot of money, especially as Westerners. But for someone here, that's a shit ton of money. So then the other night we went out to dinner with him, and now we're becoming close to their family. It's like, right. Man, I love HEX. Everything that this is doing for us. And I think it's really going to, guys, if you've never given to another person, I recommend you start today, because it's
one of the best feelings ever.
That's the HEX flex, man.
You can't buy it. You can't buy it. It's a small taste of what like Richard's received over the past couple of years of people just thanking him from the bottom of their heart like that. If you want to see a truly heartfelt thank you, go and look at David Feeder's video of thanking Richard about HEX and like financially freeing him and getting him out from underneath student loans. And like you can't buy that kind of gratitude. Like that truly comes from someone that like you've changed their life through the actions that you've done. And like all of us are in that position to actually go out in the world and do that for other people, just like Randy was telling you guys. And like when you have those actually go through and like people reach out to you, it's like, yo, like you seriously changed my life. Like you can't buy that shit. Like you can't buy that Ferrari, you can't buy that yacht. Like that's that person has to give that willingly of their own free will to you through the actions that you've done.
And then they become your biggest fan. So now we're growing our community, and then they're going to find Richard, and they're like, oh, so this is
where he gets it from.
Or that kind of thing. I grew up in the church, so I'm used to it, but my wife wasn't. My wife was not a giver at first. It's taken years for me to work on that. We used to fight about it because I was always giving money away to people. But it's different. I don't know. You just have to be around people that do it. And then once you do it for the first time, guys, I'm telling you, it's addictive.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about Crypto Heartbeat's channel and the Pulse Promise. And he's taking like the long view, like he's looking out, and the messaging is there now. But I just love the idea of being able to help people and give back. And I'm just grateful he's just dropped into this PulseChain community, and it's just like, whoa, where'd this guy come from? And putting out amazing content. I wish he could still be on, so we'll get him back on at some time. But what he's doing over there with that channel is absolutely great. He's had some great conversations already, and I know he's going to have plenty more.
Yeah, that's what's awesome, because like I'm so appreciative of like him and a lot of newer channels like Crypto Panda, Rags to Riches, like those guys. Like it's amazing because like we just go on here, shoot the shit, and like hang out. Like to us, this is just like fun. This is just like guys that we've come up together throughout this whole thing that this journey we've gone on together. So for us, this is just what we enjoy to do. Like this is our new group of friends and family. So it's cool to actually see guys come on and like their content is professional, clean cut, to the point it's like this is what gains virality. And if you look at Crypto Heartbeat, like the guy's got 5,000 subs already. He's been going for like a month. Like the guy is guy's amazing, and I get it because I watch his videos and look at him, and it's like, this is what like people want. They want that clean cut, to the point, concise, very intelligent individual that presents them opportunities to grow their wealth, and like that's who you want promoting your brand. So like that's why like I love supporting those guys and promoting them, because I know I'd rather just sit there and cuss like a sailor and hang out with you guys to get drunk on a Friday. So I like the professional, clean cut guys that are killing it on YouTube and other avenues, because I know they make up for areas that it's just not me. So
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I want to give a little shout out. That like happened today, this morning actually, with Crypto Bobcat. He does TA with Hex as well, and like just recently started showing his face and doing a live stream version of it, and like got some of his first like super chats today while like I was watching
I saw some screenshots.
Channel. He was losing his shit. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to see him really appreciate it. And like, he lost his mind over getting $5 at first, and then to see the community, everybody show up and like really and you know, feel the moment on him was cool. You know, and definitely
I'll have to stop by.
It was great. It was great. He definitely, you know, puts out good content too, and you know, like like those little things mattered, you know. But he figured out he should be live streaming this stuff. He figured out he should be showing his face. You know, that makes, and like now seeing that he's noticing the you know, the fruits of the you know, his growth.
And think about it too. It's similar to here, where the average salary is probably closer to about $600 a month. That's what here in Panama it's 500, but I'm sure in Eastern Europe, Ukraine or Russia, wherever he is, it's going to be closer to about $600 a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dan's question here? This is forever debated because there has been no clear-cut answer. And it's funny because I go back to the pre-Hexican days, and Richard didn't like Hexican, and that's what we ended up with. So I've heard Pulsicans, Pulsars,
Pulsicans, just end it. Pulsicans now, just end it.
Just make it kind of consistent.
Let's be real. It does not flow as well as Hexicans. None of them do. Just pick one. Go with Pulsicans.
I like Pulsicans.
I like Pulsidon.
Fuck Pulsidon. It's just Pulsicans. There's too much going back and forth. Hexicans, Pulsicans, move the fuck on.
Pulsidon, though, you have the I before E or whatever, and then people would mess that up. Yeah. So it's like the Pulsican, Hexican kind of thing. It's like similar population. So I can kind of see that.
This might continue on for another Cuatro Cinco days. Because like, look at the chat right now. Pulsators, Pulsars, like, no, fucking Pulsicans. Just move on. No one can come up with a clear cut one because nothing flows as well as Hexican. Just call it Pulsican, move on.
Oh man. All right, there we go.
We'll be here to the end of time.
So I believe it was Trayvon who found this thing. So you go to chain list and you type in PulseChain. Check that out. Chain ID number 369.
Is that the nodes? Or
nice,
no?
I think this is the chain ID.
How many nodes do we have? We have a shit ton of nodes. Isn't it close to around? Yeah, it's close to that number.
I just wanted to throw that out there. Quite interesting.
Interesting,
yes. Yeah. So, Randy had here one of the last notes of the day, just touching on your chat with Jeff from TrustSwap. Was there anything major that you took out of that interview? Because, I mean, it was, an hour long? I mean, it was a bunch of good stuff in there. And he'll come right out and tell you, which he did. Sneeze, Big K. Bless you. Okay. All right.
Way to ruin the moment.
All right. But yeah, he came right out and told you, he was like, hey, I was not for Hex. And, you know, he kind of like went back and forth, and then he kind of came around, and now he sees the Pulse vision and he's there for it, man. So
he was taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other takeaways
the first time?
Yeah. So, you know, Jeff and I go way back. Had 2015, 16. The largest he owned the second largest Facebook group on Facebook. Sorry, I said that twice. Cryptocurrency investing, and then I was part of Crypto Coin Collectors Club. And he bought that one too, and it then became Crypto Coin Trader. So he owns both of those groups now. So he's got probably 800,000 followers in those two channels. I am no longer part of any of those Facebook groups. I found that to be degenerate, waste of my time. You know, I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I'd rather do live streams with people that have the same kind of knowledge and are going the same direction than spend time listening to people that want to, dump Shiba Inu on my head, you know, or something like that. So Jeff made a post in, I think it was January 2020, where he just rambled about why he thought HEX was a scam and why he thought the OA owning all the HEX was bad and why the affiliate program was bad and all those kind of things. And I was disenchanted with him, right? I was like, what the hell, man? I said, I'm out here writing articles pro HEX and you're out here bashing it. Like this goes back to me losing all my friends who are my friends in crypto. And he turned around. I think about 6 or 7 months ago, I tweeted, I had made a bet with him that the market cap of HEX would be a certain amount. I can't remember what it was. Some ridiculous amount.
Oh God, market cap bet.
Yeah, that was a market cap bet. And he took the bet, and I said it was going to be some huge amount. And he's like, no way, it's never going to happen. But we beat it by like 2x or 3x, something like that. And he apologized. He says, well, it looks like what I thought were problems with HEX were actually good things. These are things that people wanted, a centralized power in the community. Someone that owns a lot of the money, that type of thing. And he apologized to us on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys commented on that post and those kind of things. That was so cool. And he then announced about 3-4 months ago that TrustSwap was going to support PulseChain. And I was like, oh shit, they're the first ones to make an announcement. Jeff has definitely come around. Smart. This is very cool, right? And this week, I just wrote to him. I said, hey, Jeff, I said, you want to come on and introduce yourself to the Pulse community and the HEX community? He's like, yeah, dude, let's do it. So we did it. And he had some great things to say. Watch the talk, guys. The one thing that we discussed that I thought was really important is the view of the other projects, why they're going to want to come over to Pulse. And because my big thing is, why wouldn't they? They're going to double their bags. If you own 20% of a project, now you own 20% of a project times 2. So if they don't support it, it's just dumb if they're looking out for their own bags. Yeah. So that was the big thing, the big takeaway for me. Just listen to it because there's so much knowledge that Jeff was dropping, and he's a really smart guy. Now I'm back to respecting him.
This is something.
And link is in the description, by the way. Go ahead.
This is something I've noticed in building our own projects and how expensive it is to develop all this stuff. And it's a good point that you bring up is like, it takes a lot of money to build these projects, to build out the ecosystem, to build all this stuff. It's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And to literally have this whole system state copied over, this experiment that's never been done before, and all the team has to do is build a front end, and then their users become rich, their projects grow larger. Like, it's a no-brainer. And I think a lot of people sleep on it, on the fact that like, oh, these PRC20s are going to be worthless. It's like, if the projects are smart, if these coins are smart, like, they're going to come over here and interact on PulseChain. Not to mention, a lot of them are just dead to begin with because of Ethereum fees, especially some of the smaller guys. They can't operate with the current system of Ethereum. So like, to me, it's a no-brainer. If you've already sunk in hundreds of thousands of dollars into your project, your ecosystem, your coins, and it's borderline dead on Ethereum, and now you've had the saving grace of Richard Hart copying it over on PulseChain, why would you not come over here and develop a front end and bring your community over here to PulseChain? Like, it's brilliant. And then you see that in the marketing of Richard as well, where I know initially I was one of in the camp as well that like the HEX that we have today on Ethereum would remain being the OG called HEX, and then he would call the other one PHEX. Richard said, no, the one that's going to PulseChain is going to be called HEX. The other one is going to be called EHEX, along with all the coins that he copied over from Ethereum. Those are all going to be, Chainlink's going to be Chainlink. Aave is going to be Aave, and everything on Ethereum is going to have that preface of E in front of it. So I thought that was brilliant marketing on his part. Hey guys, we're the new premier Ethereum 2.0 that they wish they could be, come over to us unless you want to stay on the archaic ancient chain of eAave, eChainlink. Like they're the old outdated platform. Like come to us. This is where you truly get to take off, prosper, and thrive. So like I think people just don't understand like what we're about to do in this space. Like this is truly something that's never been done. And the more I think about it and everything starts to align, like this is going to be something that's truly pretty great.
You know, the foresight that he had, they've already built the whole thing. They're just waiting for the switch to turn on and they'll be ready on PulseChain.
That's amazing.
And, you know, providing liquidity and being able to run their whole platform over there.
So smart.
Awesome.
So smart.
Yep.
So smart.
Vince.
Yep.
What you got? I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh no, I'm good. Yeah.
I love these mics because you can see when someone, you know.
Yeah.
I would like to speak now.
I want to speak. Yeah.
It's like the on-air, off-air kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, Cabana.
Yo. I know Vince has to jet here, and then shortly thereafter, Motley does. Where do you?
I got 5 minutes.
Oh, who has 15?
Got a good 5 minutes, dude.
I got 15. So.
All right.
I got to get to Korean barbecue, bro. It is what it is.
All right, fine. Well, we will skip trivia until next week. Let me get my bearings here because I was all prepared. But so it's time for the most in-demand segment of the show.
What the fuck is this?
Randy Hilarski. The fuck is this?
Oh man, you're always grabbing these things for me. Yeah,
at least it's not a horse.
Yeah, I was just driving down the road and I saw, sloths. They only come down to the grass to relieve themselves, right?
Yep.
Or go to another tree. And so I found this guy slowly meandering to another tree, and I went and gave him a high five. Obviously, he's looking to protect himself.
It's like, bitch.
And that was from my days on Steam It. I probably made like $200 for that post. Those guys who missed Steam It back in the day, you were dumbasses. But over a course of a year and a half, just posting stupid shit like this, I made like $250,000 just posting stuff on Steam It. So those were good days.
And now you can NFT it and make 69 million or
cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And that's a 3-toed sloth if anybody wants to know.
Motley would probably be interested. Actually, he's our zoologist, our resident zoologist.
I know all about 3-toed sloths, and like Randy said, they only come down to alleviate themselves. They're not the brightest creatures. They usually get jacked when they do that. You think they would just learn to just drop it from the tree at this point?
We've got all 3 species. We're the only country that has all 3 species: the 3-toed,
I did not know
2-toed,
that.
and the pygmy. The pygmy sloth is in the Boca del Toro area, and the Smithsonian. I think it was the Smithsonian got in trouble a couple of years ago for trying to steal some and take them back to the U.S. The Panamanian government busted them.
Oh man,
naughty.
Yeah. Hey, how do you think animals get in zoos, guys?
Yep. Exactly. All right. Well, I think we will wrap it up because we're going to lose pretty much most of our panel here to other obligations. They have put in their time away requests. Therefore, they are excused. Motley has probably the best excuse.
Yep. I heard Hexo is streaming right now, too.
Yes, he is. So I'm going to send everybody over there. Motley Investor, what are you doing this weekend? And shill yourself.
Let's see. Korean barbecue tonight. Have friend's birthday.
Nice.
Packing up the house to move back to Florida, currently in DC, so that's always fun. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my streaming setup here shortly. They're coming to help pack up on the 14th, but I'll make it work. If you're not following Legion VC News on Twitter, YouTube, go do it now. It's a company Vince and Big K are a part of as well. We're doing interviews with people that are building on PulseChain. Randy, I'd like to reach out to you and maybe do an interview with the guys on TrustSwap. That would be cool. But yeah, follow us. Go to Hex Merch if you want any new cool merch stuff. We're opening up a new store that's going to do general crypto, and then but it's cool because we're going to direct them back again to Hex and PulseChain again, just funneling everything back to what I think is better crypto. So yeah, that's it for me.
Big K, what are you up to? And shill yourself.
Big Krakowski on Telegram and Twitter. You can find me there. So I am currently in Denver working on pumping Hexicans bags. We're doing some event planning, starting to work on the next year's things coming up. So yeah, glad to be out here enjoying the coolness. It's crisp. It's crisp out.
Crisp.
Nice.
Randy Hilarski, what do you got going on good this weekend, and where can we find you?
We just set up our Christmas tree earlier. Now I'm gonna go out.
Oh, before Thanksgiving?
Hell yeah.
We don't have Thanksgiving here, man. There's no Thanksgiving in Panama. That's
okay.
All right. But yeah, we just did it. I can't wait to go see it because it's dark now. And I'm also working hard on Crypto.autos. That's my new our new company that I partnered with my buddy who's been doing this for about 10 years. We're buying cars with crypto, ship it anywhere in the world, straight from the manufacturer. That's how I got my Touareg. It's being built in Slovakia right now, and it'll be here in probably about 5-6 weeks. So
pretty cool.
It's going to be a pretty big project. We're going to NFT stuff. We'll build it on PulseChain. If we do a coin, I'm very excited. Cars are my thing, man. I absolutely love cars. And I'm going to start live streaming. We're going to have a Crypto Auto show, and it's going to be talking about cars.
That's cool.
A massive sausage
cool.
fest.
That's cool.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Awesome. Vince, before we get to you, I just wanted to get this super chat really quick.
Cool.
All right, Motley. 1118, is it BS?
Yeah, man, it's never launching. Sorry. You sacrificed for nothing.
That's all right.
Perpetually.
Okay.
4 weeks.
Now back to Vince.
I don't know. Motley he's more of the bullish. I thought he and Vince were going to debate here. But hey, you could get an announcement maybe the 18th, and then 2 weeks from that. I mean, I'm kind of like feeling Randy's vibe here. We're kind of on the same wavelength.
There's something coming.
There's something
November
there.
18th. And you know what? Buying Hex in the dip has always been profitable. So if you didn't take advantage of it, you're an idiot. There you go.
There you go.
Hope your money was well spent. Vince,
what are you up to this weekend, and shill yourself?
Yes. Well, tomorrow I have basically a little coaching session because I have a friend that has her first stakes coming out. So just going to try to teach her to do all that. She's not very tech savvy, so and plus
that's right, Molly.
Her first language is Mandarin, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. But other than that, nothing special. So people can find me on Twitter, Telegram, CryptoVince369, and do Hex. Check out the Hex Asians show on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings if you have time. That's 6. 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern now. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for joining. Thank you to Matt, Crypto Heartbeat. Hope we can get him on again sometime soon. Love that guy.
Better show with you next time.
It was the Joke-off, but
he was his wife, man.
No, it was. We hope everything's all right there. Thank all you, Motley, Big K, Randy, and Vince, and thank you to the viewers, subs, all y'all. I mean, that was our highest viewership yet, consistently. I was watching the numbers until Hexo wrecked us, so it was all good. But everybody go over and watch Hexologist now, and we'll pick back up next week. I think it's the last show before probably take a week or two break for holidays, holiday parties, and stuff like that. And then a week, maybe 2 weeks off.
I said week.
Oh yeah,
as in WEAK.
Oh, okay. And I'm working on a guest, Motley knows, and Big K and Crypto Vince next week that all you gentlemen may enjoy.
Gentlemen.
We'll see. Maybe some ladies if you're into that sort of thing, but I am totally
99.9% of the audience.
But yeah, that'll be it. Thank you again, everybody, and we will close it out here for National Happy Hour Day. Cheers, everybody.
I'm out of drink, but